to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from DisKingdom. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the brand new Star Wars VR experience, which has been coming to Disneyland and Walt Disney World later this year. It announced going to be coming, as I said, later this year, coming to Disney Springs in Walt Disney World, downtown Disney in Disneyland Resort. So it's not actually in the parks because it's going to be a Void experience. So the company that make it, groundbreaking, open to the public, and it's going to be here at Void. We combine the magic of illusions, advanced technology, and virtual reality to create fully immersive social experiences that take guests to new world. A truly transformative experience, so much so that when you see your eyes, it's what you hear, feel, touch, and even smell. Through the power of the Void, guests will step into the Star Wars secrets of the Empire. Won't just see the world, they will be part of an amazing story. Done with Lucasfilm. It's a collaboration with them. Going to be opening up in, I think it was just later this year. They were Void, one part of the 2017 Disney Accelerator programs. So yeah, looks good. Yeah, it's going to be opening up this holiday season, so it's going to be sort of Christmas time stuff. So this sounds very good. I mean, the concept art was showing off K2SO from Rogue One, and there's a stormtrooper in there. So they kind of look like they're going back in time rather than doing the sort of... And in some ways it makes sense, because that way they can kind of do the classic trilogy without having to worry about times and who's doing what, etc.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of experience it is, like what we can do in it and where... which characters we can interact with. Obviously, you mentioned K2SO already, but I can't imagine that'll be all. There'll be other characters making cameos.
Yeah, I mean, for this one here, going to be interesting on a couple of things. First off, it's at Disney Springs, downtown Disney, so this will be a paid experience separately. This won't be in your pass or anything like that.
Yeah, and they didn't specify what the price is going to be yet, did they? So... it's going to be a hard sell, I think. Well,
I don't know. See, I had the exact opposite reaction, because I'm there going, right, this better be there for a few years because of when I go next. Because for me, this is an instant must-do. This will be something that will be like, right, everybody, I'll do that on my own. That will be something completely that I would love to do. A full experience. If it was... I don't know, about £20-25, probably $30-35 maybe, for a half hour to an hour. I would guess probably about 15-20 minutes, something like that. To me, it's the thing of it, this is not just VR that you would get on PSVR. This is going to be something that will be an experience. This will be what you find. They've already done this in a number of different locations around the world. They're very much aimed at location-based, making an event. Seeing lots of things like this now.
That's true, and I think part of the question will be, is it just going to be like a headset with a little space here around, or is it going to have like one of those treadmill kind of things that we've seen on some mock-ups where you can actually kind of walk around on it?
Yeah, and also,
or what is it? It's kind of like a bowl-shaped thing, which is supposed to... I don't... If it's got that might be fun just to see how that works, because you're not going to get that in a home setup unless you're a millionaire.
No, well, this is the thing as well, and I also think it will make a big difference with, maybe how it's set up inside, maybe the interaction with the cast members, how, like them said about like smells and noise, when you're in there, and if you can smell engine oil, or if you've got wind blowing on your face, and that's what makes it different. It will be an experience rather than just VR. I thought this was great. I can't see it. This is not a home console kind of VR experience. This will be very much based in a location. But this will be, if they can do it right, it could be there for years. And you see these things popping up in major cities all over the place now.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the technology is moving so fast that I hope that they make it modular or easily upgradable as well. And then if they do, then it definitely could be there for a very long time, assuming, again, the price is right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, right now there's a lot of questions about what they're planning on doing, price, how long the experience is going to be. One that I haven't really seen mentioned too much yet is what they're going to do, about the actual goggles. because in my experience, a lot of times if you're using them for longer than 10 or 15 minutes, they start to get very sweaty.
Yeah.
You know, right where they're pressed up against your face. And if it's your system at home, then okay, that's not that big a deal. If I'm going to be wearing a headset that hundreds of other people have been wearing, I need to know that they're cleaning those things off.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect, there'll be like, less spray and stuff. I mean, it depends on the unit, because if it could literally be being processed by a big computer and just sent to small screens on the heads, and that's sending the signal of, so most of the processing power is not being done on it, so it could be more of a mobile, more throwaway, sort of a lot smaller unit because of that.
That's certainly a possibility. I would not be too surprised if there was sort of a disposable aspect to it, maybe even just the lining around the edge, like very easy pop in, pop out kind of thing. More interesting, like building on that track there, is that this kind of experience is how VR in general is going to get advanced. We've got the Oculus, we've got the Vive, we've got the PSVR, and they're cool and all, but it's when you get major investors creating experiences that they're really going to start to advance the technology. And Disney is one of those companies that is really good at advancing technology that they want to get behind. Just see what they have done with the animatronics in the parks in the last couple of years. The Frozen ride, the Seven Dwarves Mine Train. I haven't seen it personally, but apparently Pandora is amazing in terms of animatronics. So if they can take that kind of Disney wizardry and throw it into VR, I know it's not Disney directly working on this, but if they can maybe back it a little bit, then
I mean, the Void definitely seems to be working very closely with Lucasfilm. The company have worked on Ghostbusters one in the past and done bits and pieces. It's funny because we were watching a video the other night of up in the Shard in London, which is one of the biggest, tallest skyscrapers there is in London. There's a new VR experience there, and they put people on little, like on a VR unit, where you're sat on like a slide. So as they're going on a slide going around the Shard, and it moves as they're going with them, and the people that are on it are screaming and they're shouting because they're literally like they're just on a slide going around the outside of the building on the outside of London, and the way people are reacting to it, because they're on that movement board, it changes the whole thing, because it's then, it looks quite a simple setup, and I mean, even the guys running the thing are laughing at this woman just screaming, and you're looking at it going, these are the kind of experiences that are pushing, like you say, pushing that boundary, but also getting this technology into people's hands.
Yeah, and it's getting it into people's hands that's really going to make the huge difference in the end, because you're going to want to be able to go home and at least have a partial experience of what you're getting at the park. Yeah, your PSVR is not going to be able to mimic this. They're not going to be able to mimic the thing on the Shard. Although I will say, honestly, if I was on a slide on the outside of the Shard, I'd actually want to be able to see what was going on around me, because that would be just an awesome view. I do remember the Shard. I didn't go up it when I was in London, but I mean, you can see it from everywhere. So
it's that kind of thing. I think I mean, we've been talking about recently about like the Marvel game for the Oculus Rift. We're always. I know both of us are kind of on this PS4 or PSVR thing where we're waiting for the killer app. We're waiting for a price drop. We're waiting for this thing to become a little bit more accessible, and these kind of experiences. And I also think this is good for Disney from the point of view of all the stuff going on with Star Wars and Star Wars Land, getting something out a little bit earlier, getting something in there. In one way, I can see why they've not put this into like Hollywood studios, because if they put it in there, people would expect it all to be done for free. And I think these kind of experiences, having these different things, I think it's a good idea. I saw this and was like, wow, that makes so much sense. Why didn't they do it earlier? But also, this looks so fun. And also, I could see this working for a future, have a couple of different stations down those areas offering different experiences.
Now, I think that we're not going to see VR in the parks themselves for the reasons you mentioned, but that kind of got me thinking we might see AR in the park, which, since the term doesn't come up very often, that's augmented reality. We did see a little bit of this at the D23 video game presentation. We talked about it in a previous podcast. given that Disney already has, the Toy Story Mania game with the 3D glasses and stuff like that, I could absolutely see them kind of taking an offshoot of this technology.
Yeah.
Maybe setting up some sort of like shooting gallery kind of room and doing something like that in the parks. And that would be pretty awesome if we ever got that.
I mean, there's lots of rumors swinging around about a Wreck-It Ralph attraction replacing Stitch, which a lot of people have been saying about VR. Also, I believe the Mario Kart ride in Universal that they're building might be using augmented reality for like having like video, like stuff happening in there as well. So it makes sense for this. It's kind of going to be interesting to see what the. But the good thing for me is like this thing of the theme parks. They invest a lot of money, but this technology seeps through. It will seep right. It will. While it's not a home device straight away, it will. The technology they're doing will make everything better in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, even stuff that's not VR, this will still help push all sorts of technology at home. We already see Disney doing their best. They're partnered up with Sphero, and they've got like the little BB-8 and the Marvel or the Cars characters and stuff like that. They're all about bringing more of the experience home.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're never going to replace the Disney World, the Disneyland experience. Yeah. That's their moneymaker. They want people in Florida. They want people in Anaheim. But bringing that little bit home, too, is really a very Disney thing. So it would not surprise me at all if this kind of experience with Void or some sort of AR experience in the park really kind of drives the VR market forward.
But also, it wouldn't surprise me as well, because I think this will open it wide open, a Marvel one. Because if they put a Marvel one in Disney Springs, it falls outside of the... I think it might fall outside of the contract, because it's not inside of a theme park. So it might be something... I don't know. It depends on... They did Guardians or Doctor Strange... It could be something that they could use as a legal loophole. It wouldn't surprise me again, and then they can sort of tie it up as well. Major releases in the future and stuff. But no, I think Star Wars makes the most sense, and I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see it. It just looks like it should be a lot of fun.
Honestly, all I really want is to be holding a lightsaber and to be able to, wave it around and have it on the screen. I know they advertise that as one of the features of their AR goggles that they're talking about for home use, but everyone wants to swing a lightsaber or be Han Solo or be Boba Fett or whatever. And if this can provide even a fraction of that, then it will be a hit, going back to my original point, as long as the price is right.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, let us know what you guys think of this VR experience coming to Downtown Disney in Disneyland and also Disney Springs in Walt Disney World. As per usual, remember to hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Hit that follow button on Twitch. You can also find us on the audio versions. Check us out on the website. This month we're giving away a $20 gift certificate for eStore, whichever your choice, either Xbox or PlayStation, etc. So you want to check that one out over on the website as well. James, where can they find you?
I'm heroiclegacy.com, and I actually even have content coming up this week.
Wow.
I know, it's been over a month and a half.
There we go. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
You had to get it in there.
Long